Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we're going underwater and looking for treasures. Now you'll be trying to find them by playing sunken chest cards, but you'll have to watch out for those gosh darn bubbles because they prevent sunken chests from providing treasure. Gosh Darn Bubbles is a casual, light-hearted, simple, yet competitive underwater-themed tabletop card game for 2 to 4 players, takes 20 minutes or less to play, and is published by Sandwich Bag Games. Now it's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. Now here we have Gosh Darn Bubbles set up. We have a draw deck and we have the treasure deck. You're trying to be the first to get 3 treasures. If you do, you're going to be the winner. Now each player is going to be dealt 3 cards to them at the beginning of the game from the deck. Now these cards are secret from other players, so you get to see them but nobody else gets to see them. On your turn, you're simply going to play a card, do what the card says, and then you're going to get your hand size reset to 3. So here we've been dealt the Selective Seahorse, which will allow us to reveal the top 2 cards of the deck, then play one of them and discarding the other ones. We have Check Out These Dolphins. This will allow us to draw 3 cards from the deck, and then we need to reset, basically making sure we only have 3 cards at the end of our turn, but it gives us more choices. And we have Jerk Face Shark. This would allow you to discard 1 card placed in front of any player. At the beginning of the game, there's no cards placed in front of other players, but some cards will allow you to do so. This card's going to be better to hold on to for a little bit later, so let's go ahead and play the Selective Seahorse. So when you play a card, you're going to put it in a discard pile, which will be right next to the Bubbles draw deck. So in this case, we're going to reveal 2 cards. We're going to play one of them. So we would reveal them like this. We have Duck with an Afro. We have play the top card of the deck. So this would have us just take this, play it to the discard pile, and do whatever it says. This one says Slap at the base. Discard 1 random card from each other player's hand. So let's select this one. So this one will get discarded because we're not using it. This one we will use and it will get discarded here, but we get to discard a random card from all the players' hands. And so each of those players are going to hold their cards out. And we're going to take one of them and discard it. So now that we've played our card and followed the instructions, we're going to reset our hand, and it's always to 3. If you have less than 3, you'll draw from the draw deck until you have 3. If you have more than 3, you'll discard down till you have 3. Oh, and look at that sunken chest. These are the cards that are going to help us try to get some treasures. We'll show you this in just a moment. So let's assume all other players have played and it's back to us. We'll simply play this card that we just got, the Sunken Chest. Now, we got to discard the top 3 cards of the deck, and if no bubbles are discarded, then we'll get a treasure because we found that in the Sunken Chest. So we'll get this. Okay, that's not bubbles. A second card that's not bubbles, and the third card, oh man, Gosh Darn Bubbles. They do nothing, but they stopped us from getting the treasure. However, let's assume that third card was not bubbles. We would then take one of these treasure cards and place it in front of us. Now let's say the next player plays that Jerk Face Shark card we talked about earlier, which is discard 1 card placed in front of any player. They'd play this, and since the treasure's in front of us, it would get discarded from in front of us. And those treasures always get discarded to their own pile. So let's go over some of the other cards in the game. Another one basically forces the player that you play this in front of to have 1 more treasure than normal to win the game. Usually you need 3. This player that has this in front of them would need to have 4. The Gold Digging Killer Whale allows you to reveal the top 3 cards of the deck, and you're looking for sunken chest cards. If you get one, you get to put it in your hand, and then you'll discard any of those remaining cards. The Enlightened Jellyfish allows you to choose someone, they reveal their hand, you take 1 card from theirs, and you add it to your hand. Now this is an example of when you do this, you'll actually have 3 cards already. You won't need to draw from the deck because you're taking 1 from someone else, but that player that you took this from will have less cards. Since you don't reset your hand to the end of your turn, that player is going to have less choices on their turn. The Extra Tentacle, you place this in front of anybody, usually yourself, and you'll have a +1 to your maximum hand size, so you'll always reset to 4 cards instead of the normal 3. Now when you play the Check Out These Dolphins, you get to draw 3 cards from the draw deck and then decide which ones you're going to keep totally when you reset to your hand size. The Frog Eating Frog allows you to reveal the top card of the draw deck and then discard it or play it. If you play it, you do what it says. If you discard it, then you play the new top card, but you have to do what it says. A little bit of press your luck there. Best Friends Forever allows you to discard your cards, then you draw 3 from the draw pile, then a player that you choose chooses one of these cards randomly, and you have to play and do what that card says. Let's look at some more. Fair wins. Each player passes their hand one player clockwise, so you're changing hands there. The bubble sealed lock, you place this in front of any player, and the next time that player plays a sunken chest card, instead of discarding the top 3 cards, you add 3 to that. They'd have to discard 6 cards in that case, and if any bubbles come up from those 6, they don't get the treasure. The grab crab allows you to play 1 random card from another player's hand. The whirlpool allows each player to discard their hand and then draw 2 cards from the draw deck. The pirate Manta Ray allows you to look at the 3 top cards of the deck. Now, if any of them are bubbles, nothing happens. However, if you pull up a sunken chest card, you get to steal a treasure that's in front of another player and put it in front of yourself. The significant odders allows you to draw the top 3 cards of the deck. Now from these 3 cards, you're going to look at them, you're going to add 1 to your hand, you're going to give 1 to any player of your choice, and then you're going to discard the other one. And in that case, if that player had already been reset to 3 cards, the player you gave that card to is now going to have more choices on their turn. In the deep diving, Kingfisher discards the top card of the draw deck, and you have to play the top new card that's there. And players keep playing in clockwise order until one player gets 3 treasures. By default, they'll win the game. Of course, unless, like we showed before, you have one of these cards in front of you where you'd need an additional one. Now keep in mind to also check the Kickstarter project link in the description of this video, because there are going to be some more cards available based upon stretch goals, and I'm showing you some of those additional cards here. Well, there you have Gosh Darn Bubbles, and as I showed in the overview, it's a quick, light, and easy to learn card game. Now if you'd like to see all the final art and components and all the different pledge levels, you can click the link below me in the description of this video, and it will take you to the Kickstarter project page, and I'm sure the fine folks at Sandwich Bag Games would love your support.